Captain's log, stardate 54588.0. After recapturing the USS Douglas, we have learned of something the Borg called Technology 2702. It may be via this technology that the Borg ships are arriving from the Delta Quadrant. We are not certain of the exact location of the technology, but Starfleet believes that our current location is perfect for setting up a staging area in preparation for an attack. The nebulas nearby offer cover from long-range scanners. Unfortunately, this area of space lies very close to the Romulan neutral zone. The Romulan Empire threatens to attack any ships which wander over the border. The Enterprise was dispatched to meet my fleet here and help secure the quadrant, but I have not heard from her yet. I hope nothing has gone wrong.
Oh, don't worry, this is Star Trek. Nothing ever goes wrong in it, apart from Wolf 359 and the Dominion War and that whole assimilation thing and that couple of times where Earth's been destroyed, assimilated or otherwise nuked. On the other hand, things do go wrong quite a bit in Star Trek. Still, never mind. Welcome to the 4th mission of Star Trek Armada, guys. And we start off with absolutely nothing, so we're going to build up our base and see if we can find the Borg.
Station construction commencing.
The unique thing in this mission is that A, it's long, and B, we have that area around the right centre of the map, which is supposed to be the Romulan neutral zone. You'll notice that we've already found an infinite dilithium moon. The way to tell them apart is that the infinite moons are purple and the non-infinite ones are blue. The infinite ones will last forever and never run out, whereas you can mine out a dilithium moon. Still, just got my ventures doing a little bit of scouting while I build up my base. I'm leaving my Akira class ship right next to my star base for the moment. Well, it looks like we've got a decent round of resources near us here. We've got a dilithium moon, we've got a Latinum nebula, albeit a small one, and we also have a heavily metallic
all work crews report to station.
Planet over there to the left hand side.
A prudent course of action.
Unfortunately, that planet is uninhabitable, so we are going to be building star bases in the meantime to get our population up.
Station construction commencing.
And while we wait for the research station to build, which is going to take several thousand years, we're going to get some dilithium freighters built as well so that we can saturate the dilithium moon and begin harvesting latinum.
Starship complete.
That's the uninhabitable planet there
Station
to the
complete.
left, the first one.
Aye, sir.
That will be a very good moon for metal. We'll get a lot of metal out of that moon.
Starship complete.
But since it's only one source for the moment, and since they kind of distinguished themselves in the last mission, we're going to let the Defiance have a bit of a run for in. We're already under attack in this mission. It would be right now. Ugh.
Armed and ready.
You'll notice, and this is something I noticed about this game, that the Borg don't appear to have had a major upgrade on their ships, whereas the Federation certainly have, with the advent of adding torpedoes to pretty much every class of ship. So, I'm just wondering at this point what we're going to come across when we are the Borg, because being Armada, we're going to end up playing as pretty much everyone. But one of my dilithium freighters was destroyed, which is a bit irritating, but I'm going to just build another one to replace it and send the other two on mining. And let's complete our fleet of Defiance. Going to get these out fairly quickly.
Starship complete.
And research antimatter mines fairly quickly as well, just so that we have the we have all the abilities that we need. At the beginning of the mission anyway, we are going to need a lot more. But this is one of the objectives for the mission, is to research the tachyon detection grid so we can see if the Romulans do anything. They won't, spoiler alert, but at least we can rule anything out from them.
Station construction.
The tachyon grid will make it easy for our scouts and sensor arrays to detect and track the Romulan patrols, even when cloaked.
Well, that's nice, especially considering that the tachyon detection grid is one of the least useful abilities in the
Starship complete.
game as far as the Federation goes, because we're pretty much always going to be against the Borg, so the Borg don't use cloaking, so there's absolutely no point. But I guess as far as a gimmick goes, they had to fit that in somewhere. I'm just researching antimatter mines now, and I'm building a trading station. Reason for the trading station is that they do provide latinum anyway, just naturally, because Ferengi traders come round to trade with you, but I do intend on having several bases in this mission, and I am going to run short on certain resources pretty much always, so it's always useful to have your trading station available. But I've now built an advanced shipyard as well, so we're going to get to build some nice, cool, new, shiny ships.
Acknowledge Starfleet. Acknowledge Starfleet.
Sent my Defiance off to
Enemy engaged.
scout out that
Course of
moon.
action.
And I'm going to send one of my construction ships over there as well, because I want the metal from this planet.
Confirmed, Starfleet.
Takes forever to build.
All sections stand by.
And the Borg have again sent a small invasion force, but they're no match for a starbase and Akira. And come on, I want that Akira to survive.
Station construction commencing.
Armed and ready. Find the nearest shipyard.
The Advanced Shipyard will allow us to build the Galaxy-class battleship.
You know, I'm pretty sure it wasn't called a battleship when the Enterprise D was a Galaxy-class ship before its destruction.
Confirmed, Starfleet.
Well, I suppose unless you count yesterday's Enterprise, but since that took place in a parallel universe, we will ignore that one. What I'm building here is the third research centre, and that is the Vulcan Science Institute. What this will allow me to do is, it will allow me to build repair ships from my starbase and the most advanced ships from the Advanced Shipyard when they become available. They're not available in this mission. And the second thing that it allows me to do is upgrade my ship's engines, weapons, sensors, shields and life support systems. So it's a very, very useful building, even though it's pretty high up on the tech tree. As tempting as it is to try and slam out a bunch of Galaxy-class ships, you can see I don't have anywhere near the crew necessary to do that. So I'm afraid that I'm stuck for the moment building static defences around my metal mining facility there, and building up
Complete.
a largest fleet of sort of medium-sized ships, just to get a bit of a presence on the map going.
Commencing.
And once I'm able to expand a little bit, I will be able to then move on to Galaxy-class cruiser production.
Starship complete.
Unfortunately, you can't just go gung-ho for it because there just isn't enough time. But what I have here, I've just traded some metal and some latinum for some dilithium, and that is going to allow me to put a second starbase down here. And that will increase my crew flow rapidly, and it will also have the secondary effect of defending this metal planet pretty nicely.
The life support and shield upgrades created at the Vulcan Research Institute will allow your ships to better withstand the damaging effects of nebulas.
Yeah, they'll allow me to do a lot more than that. They'll also allow me to go toe-to-toe with the Borg a lot easier. However,
Insufficient crew.
now's the time to really start increasing my crew flow, because I'm beginning to get choked on resources as well. There is a planet and a dilithium moon to the right, closer to the Romulan border, and as you can see by the little flash there, it is an M-class planet, so it's really going to help us with crew, and it's really going to help us with pretty much all resources. But what I'm going to do here is my dilithium mining operation is a little bit too far away from my starbase for comfort, so I am going to stick a couple of static defences there to just try and deter the Borg. And now that my starbase is complete here, I'm getting an increase in crew quite nicely. I'm just sending the colony ship here. It is capable of warp, so if I found a Borg presence here I could just run away, but I can't see the Borg yet, so I am just going to try and colonise this planet, essentially while no one's looking. Starbase doing a very good job of defending this metallic planet, and Defiants are now going to run escort, considering that the Starbase has this well under control.
Acknowledged.
And I'm also going to send my construction ship over there because it's going to become my secondary base pretty much. This is just an outpost, but this is going to end up being another area for a base.
Prep all systems.
M-class planets are really, really good to colonise. They're pretty high in metal as well, surprisingly, but
successful.
they are also incredibly good at repopulating your crew, and as you can see, the sheer number of people that I'm getting in now is pretty huge. Oh, looks like the Borg have found me. But the Defiants are going to be able to quite comfortably hold them off for as long as they don't send anything horrifically major at me. I'm recrewing the starbase next to the Metal Moon because it is on its own, so I would rather have it at peak operating capability rather than at low operating capability. The only change to this might be with the Klingons. I know in Star Trek Armada 1, if the Klingon crew went into the red, what it essentially did was they just ignored every system apart from the weapon systems. So the ships actually went into pretty much a berserk mode. So it might be useful to deliberately keep your crew low in that case in this game, but we're not playing as the Klingons, we're playing as the Federation, so we have to keep our crew levels high. Let's get mining both the metal and the dilithium on this planet to help ourselves out, and there we go, we've got a nice fully crewed starbase now. Funnily enough, you can also recrew planets. I'm not sure what benefit that gives you. I don't know if the population increases faster or not. The only benefit that I know for certain is that the planet is obviously more resistant to planetary bombardment. But as long as you've got a planetary shield there and a decently high population, you can pretty much always get to the enemy before they cause too much damage.
Captain, we've picked up the Enterprise on long-range scanners. She appears damaged and will be here in a few minutes. We need to dispatch repair ships to meet her.
Okay then, let's do that. We've got the Vulcan Institute of Science, so we can just build some repair ships at the starbase. I'm going to build half a dozen of them. They can be quite useful.
Requesting additional personnel.
Excellent.
Starship complete.
These repair ships can be used to assist the Enterprise, but they have no offensive weaponry, so we'll have to escort them to their destination.
Obviously, when you're dealing with ships like Defiance and Akira's, while the Borg sent a construction ship over, they were obviously hoping to steal this planet. When you're dealing with ships like Defiance and Akira's, they're really not going to be worth building repair ships for, but Galaxy-class ships and their equivalents have a lot of crew, they cost a lot of minerals and take quite a bit of time to build. So if you can save one or two from destruction, or at least manage to repair them to a point where they can limp back to a starbase where they would have certainly been killed before, that is certainly a good use of resources.
Confirmed, Starfleet.
And here's where the second part of my plan comes in. Now that I've got the planet colonised and metal being mined for it, I'm going to build another trading station over here, and as in the second mission, I'm going to send cargo ships back and forward between the two trading stations, and this is going to generate latinum for me. So again, it's simply another way of creating resources. Got a bit of a shortage of dilithium here, so I'm going to have to buy some. But as you can see, I've just got 2,000 latinum really quickly there, just because... Sorry, 2,000 dilithium there, just because of the latinum I've been mining. And with a trading station and a few cargo ships, that amount of latinum is really going to skyrocket. So we're beginning to reach the point where I'm almost ready to start building up the vast majority of my fleet. Okay, that's the trading station built here. And oh god, cube.
Crews report to station.
Get this starbase down.
Station construction.
And, well, I'm not quite sure how well 14 Defiance is going to... Oh, it's not going to take that very well. I'm going to back them towards the planet, because at least that way the Borg can't use warping. Although the slight problem with that is that I can't use the superior speed of the Defiant either, but it looks like the Borg have decided to head for the more heavily fortified area. I guess that's their problem. And we've got an Akira committing suicide. Decided not to wait for his pals, and it might be called the Goliath, but it's going to suffer the same fate, and... Oh dear, 2 cubes. Emergency chain reaction pulsar, although I'm not sure how much damage that's going to... Well, it's going to pulverise that poor little thing that just came into the picture.
Station is under attack.
And you might have questioned earlier why I was saying torpedo turrets are really amazing in this. The torpedo turrets here are doing more damage than 9 Akira-class starships. And given the way this fight's going, they're probably going to be what's left as well.
Captain McDermott, this is Captain Picard. The Enterprise was severely damaged trying to negotiate the nebula fields surrounding this area of space. We badly need assistance, and I fear the Borg are already on their way here to finish us off. Send reinforcements and repair teams immediately.
Well, that's easy for you to say, Picard. How about not running your ship through a load of damaging nebulas in the future? God, have you got Troy at the helm again? Anyway, Starbase is up now, and oh, the Borg have tried to steal in on my... the Borg have tried to steal in on my dilithium, have they? That won't do.
Starship complete.
Find the nearest
Now,
shipyard.
the Enterprise is actually fairly safe where it is at the moment, so don't worry about the Borg finishing it off for the moment. Just make sure that the Borg aren't allowed to steal this area of space or get any kind of foothold here. That should stop them for the moment. And let's build the dilithium here. Yeah, as tempting as it is to try and go and head over to the Enterprise, it's not going to help in our current state. We've just taken a beating off a load of Borg ships, and we don't have the firepower to be able to hold anything down. The Enterprise is fairly safe for the moment, but now that we've got colonies and star bases everywhere, it's time for me to start building Galaxy-class starships.
Station construction commencing.
We have a really good economical foothold now, and what the next phase of the plan is to take that dilithium moon, or at least the infinite dilithium moon that is over by the entrance to that nebula section.
Crews report to station.
Again, the dilithium refinery is out of range of the starbase, so we're just going to build some static defences and reinforce our position a bit here.
Starship complete.
And Galaxy-class ships are going to keep popping out of that Advanced Shipyard, but we certainly can't build them like we can Akira and Defiant-class ships. We're going to have to be a little patient.
Starship construction commencing.
But this is the second part of my plan. I'm going to build half a dozen cargo ships. And this area of space is now pretty safe.
Starship complete.
We stopped the Borg assault on our base, destroyed a few cubes, we've destroyed about 10-15 assimilators, so they have to build up a little bit again, and we're going to use this time to make sure that our economy is super good, and then we're just going to launch an all-out attack, take the position where the Enterprise is, make sure she's repaired and recrewed, and get her out of that area.
Complete. Insufficient crew.
Remember, unlike Star Trek Armada 1, where hero ships were basically godlike, in this game ships are made of paper, so you have to be very, very careful with your hero ships.
Station
Even the
complete.
Corbomite reflector won't protect the Enterprise against assault from a 2 or 3 Borg cubes. In fact, the Enterprise may in fact not be able to take a Borg cube on her own. Borg cubes have been, I don't know if they've been beefed up in this game or it's just a factor of how weak all the other ships are, but they do feel stronger in this game than they were in the previous game, and that's without using their assimilation beam. But there we go, we've now sent our cargo ships on, or given our cargo ships a cargo route, so they will start producing a lot of latinum for us, and just building a few torpedo turrets just to make sure that we are okay.
Starship complete. Insufficient crew.
And I'm sending the Defiance. I'm not too sure where I'm sending the Defiance. I may actually be recycling them here. Armada 2, really, once you've got past a certain point, you can get rid of the majority of your light ships. They're not going to last long enough in a major firefight. As good as they are
Enemy
for...
engaged. Starship complete.
Oh, here we go.
Station is under attack.
Yeah, as you can see, your puny cubes are no match for the power of torpedo turrets. But, yeah, I believe I've recycled all my Defiance for both crew and resources. You don't normally have to do that, but I just decided it'd speed up the process of cranking out the Galaxy-class ships. And at the moment that's really all that matters, and I really chose a bad time to do it because the Borg are attacking in pretty heavy force now.
Armed and ready.
But I'll get my Galaxies into the fight and they'll at least help somewhat when they're not ramming into my science stations. Wow, this is some attack. But yeah, Galaxy-class ships and ships out of the Advanced Shipyards are just so much stronger than Akira-class ships, etc. I'm setting the repair ships on high special weapon and movement autonomy. It will basically mean that they just repair ships themselves. I don't have to divert them anywhere. And yes, for those of you who are wondering, the Galaxy-class ship does have the ability to separate its saucer in this game. It increases its firepower at the cost of decreasing essentially its health, because both parts of the ship have less health than the whole and are therefore easier to destroy. So it becomes a case where you can actually end up with a load of bits of Galaxy-class starships rather than whole ships. It is quite a cool ability, and I may show that off at some point, because it was one of the really unique things, certainly about the Next Generation, that the ship could saucer separate. Anyway, I'm looking enviously at the infinite dilithium moon that's being controlled by the Borg and the Class L planet here. So I believe it's time for us to at least poke our heads in there and see what we can come up with.
Starship complete.
My construction ship's done what it needs to do now, so I'm going to send it back over to this side of the map, because I'm going to need it to build all the resource stations at the infinite dilithium moon. And it's time that we beef up our ships a little bit, and I'm going to beef up the weapons first, even though the game specifically says that life support and shields would probably be more helpful. I'm just going to go my own way as usual, and I'm going to
Station complete.
Start off with just some
Fire all weapons.
weapon power.
Enemy engaged.
Right.
And it looks like one Galaxy-class ship is... Oh, here are the rest. Slackers.
Starship complete.
And even though the weapons on a Galaxy class ship look the same to an Akira, they're a lot more powerful.
All weapons.
And I'm amazed that the Borg don't have more defences in this area. They haven't even colonised the planet. That's pretty appalling, really, but I'm going to repair that oversight.
Borg crews report to station.
And I guess it's time that I just build more Galaxy-class starships. Oh, no. Get away from it. Don't go near my ship. It's no threat to you. Good. Yeah, that's it. Walk into my wall of torpedo turrets instead. That's a lot more intelligent. Also, you can see how Janeway beat the Borg.
Enemy engaged. Starship complete.
Yeah, 4 torpedo turrets are going to wipe a Borg cube off the map without any difficulty, really.
Starship complete.
One advantage the Borg cubes do have is that even with their shields down, they're really quite powerful. I'm probably going to lose a torpedo turret here. They still can take a lot of damage even when their shields are down.
Research complete.
2 Borg cubes is quite a significant bit of damage I've done to the Borg there, so we will now continue on. There's nothing else really for me to research except for additional ship parts. I did lose a torpedo turret there, so we're just going to replace it. And here comes my construction ship. So first things first, let's get the metal mining facility down.
Ready for action.
And I've got the colony ship here, so we can get the planet colonised.
Commencing. Enemy engaged.
Getting ourselves a few more people to add to the pack.
Construction commencing.
Boy, did I ever miss with that.
Colonization has begun.
And that'll get our crew quite nicely up, and we should be able to now pretty much just build infinite galaxies. Just keep them coming. As many as we can build up to the officer limit is going to be the idea now.
Prep all systems.
And you'll also notice we're now at the opening of the nebulas near the Enterprise, so our goal at this point, once we've got all the resource gathering operations going, is to in fact build a starbase in that vicinity, just to make 100% sure that we have the place surrounded. I'm going to improve the sensors because I want as wide a view on everything as possible, and yeah, just drop a starbase there. I'm going to need 2 new dilithium freighters anyway, so I might as well put the starbase there for the moment. And let's upgrade our shields as well. I want everything fully upgraded by the time I go bundling in there. And that's the starbase complete, and as you can see, crew's going up at an absolutely insane rate now, so just going to build a sensor turret, which with our advanced sensors we'll be able to see for quite a long way and give the starbase a little bit of a head start on where it's going to fire. Don't forget, a starbase can pretty much, I think, 2 or 3 shot a Borg cube, something like that. So, considering Borg cubes don't move that quickly and you can't go through a nebula at warp, then I think we've got that area pretty much covered. And yeah, there we go. The entire area is now lit up like a Christmas tree, thanks to the
We will comply.
thanks to the sensor turret. And we'll just plop down our dilithium refinery so that we can get working on that infinite moon. But I think at this point we're pretty much solidified in infinite position.
All sections stand by.
In case you're wondering, the Borg are located at pretty much the only place where they can be, which is the exact centre of the map, surrounded by asteroids. Unfortunately for us, we can't just attack them with our massive galaxy fleet, because there is a huge wall of turrets there.
You got it.
So,
All work crews.
if we were to attack with our Galaxy class ships, we probably would lose most, if not all of them. It's just a super serious amount of turrets there. We're talking sort of, could be as much as 20 turrets. So we're not going to go blundering into that yet, but what we are going to do is watch this
Station is under
utter
attack.
carnage going on as the Borg are about to evaporate in front of my wall of torpedo turrets. They didn't send a bad force, to tell you the truth, but yeah, this is what it looks like from the cube's point of view.
Starship
Oh, I see my
complete.
Galaxy class ships are getting involved now, but that's probably a little bit unnecessary. Unfortunately, I'm having a few frame rate issues here, so I decided to save and restart the mission. And there is another dilithium moon at this point in the map, so I'm going to take that as well. To be honest, for the most part, I'm taking this just because it's another... I would say it's another pair of eyes on the map, essentially. It just gives me more real-time view on the map.
Station
And
is
I've improved
under
our
attack.
engines as well
Station
because
construction
we
commencing.
want things to move
Enemy
quickly.
engaged.
Because one thing that Galaxy class ships are they are slow and loafing, and repair ships aren't that much quicker either. So almost done. Just going to improve our life support so that it's going to be easy enough to make it into the nebula without causing too much damage to our ships.
Colonization
And
was
off we go.
successful.
We're going to go in pursuit of the Enterprise. That was a lot of ships going to warp at once, and it was a lot of power as well. Even though a Galaxy class ship isn't a match for a Borg cube by any stretch of the imagination, in this number they're just going to wipe out the
Make it so.
anything they come across. As usual, I'm setting the hero ship to high special weapons autonomy, low movement autonomy, and
We have
low
entered a dangerous nebula.
and yellow alert,
Enemy
just so
engaged.
that the Enterprise doesn't go off and get itself killed. And once again, I've got a cube running into my wall of turrets, so that's not going to last 5 minutes, and that is a serious beating that's being dealt out to that cube, and it's not going to last very long at all.
We will
Yes,
comply.
yes, I know that in Star Trek The Next Generation the Borg would have adapted and torpedoes wouldn't have done that much damage, but
Order confirmed.
I got the last of the dilithium from
that
this
would
rock.
be kind of imbalanced for this game, so you just have to take the rough with the
Station
smooth.
complete. Requesting additional personnel.
And you just have to accept that the Borg are also going to commit suicide with a ton of
All
their
work crews
ships.
report to station.
Starship complete.
Thank you, Captain. The Enterprise has been sufficiently repaired to withstand passage through the nebula belt.
Yeah, don't believe Picard when he says that. Sure, you've repaired most of his stuff into the green, but the Enterprise still has almost no crew on board it. So, make sure everything is at 100, make sure that its shields are back online, which they pretty much aren't at the moment.
Enemy engaged.
And there is still one extremely important thing to do, and oh, look what's happened. We've rescued the Enterprise. The Borg now know about it, so they're coming blundering in. Fortunately, we've got rid of 2 of the 3 cubes before they even got anywhere near the Enterprise. And I'm going to bring my Galaxy class fleet down here now to meet the Borg cube before it gets even remotely close to the Enterprise. I'm sure this part of the mission is responsible for quite a few rage quits. You'll have got this point, it's probably taken you 3/4 of an hour, and suddenly
Ready for duty.
the Borg just attack with a load of cubes, they magic up out of nowhere and the Enterprise dies. Yeah, that's what happens when you put a lot of galaxies on a Borg cube, it evaporates.
Enemy
But yeah, this is
engaged.
the most important thing you have to do with the Enterprise. Make sure it is fully crewed.
Status report.
Station is under attack.
And once it's fully crewed, we can take it back through the nebulas. Again, another case of where it's very possible people are going to end up rage quitting.
Starship construction commencing.
Just building one final dilithium freighter so that I can mine latinum. And now that we've rescued the Enterprise, it's time to get it through the
Starship
nebulas, and then we are going to
We will comply.
see what we can do about the Borg that are left in the sector.
All sections
Oh.
report.
Don't get caught behind.
Nearest repair facility.
We have entered a dangerous nebula. We have entered a dangerous
I mean, the
nebula.
shields of the Enterprise are still pretty strong. They're going to be able to withstand a
Decommission
ton of
commencing.
damage.
Decommission commencing. We have entered
Yeah,
a
we've mined out the
dangerous
latinum nebulas now. We're beginning to mine out some of the dilithium areas, so I'm
entered
going
a
to
dangerous
decommission my
nebula.
dilithium freighters so I can build a few more warships. So as you can see, I've got resources coming in way faster than I can use them now, and that is a
sections
serious
report.
fleet.
Mr. LaForge, reroute all auxiliary power to the engines.
But I'm going to get the Enterprise back to my reserve base and park it underneath the star base and underneath all the torpedo turrets as well, so there is no chance that anything gets to it.
We will comply.
And now it's time to reveal a little bit of a get around that this mission has. We've repaired our fleet now, so here's a tiny bit of a get around. You'll notice there's a bit of the map up towards, I would say, just right of centre at the top, and that's the huge wall of turrets you can see there. And you'll notice that there's a little bit of it that's unexplored at the moment. Now, we can sneak into this area even through the neutral zone. Our ships will hug the left-hand wall, essentially, as watch. There they go. They just hug the wall, so we don't end up in the neutral zone. And you can even end up in the neutral zone for, I think, a minute or two without the Romulans reacting to it.
This wormhole might give us easy access to the Borg Nexus.
Ready
Don't
for
you
duty.
just love a plot-convenient wormhole? Anyway, I tried attacking and ended up with my computer crashing, so I'm going to try one more time, and this is going to be more than enough to wipe out what the Borg have for us.
Where are we
Unfortunately,
needed?
when you start creating havoc in the Borg base, they will deactivate their minefields so that they can build more ships, essentially. And that's just bonus for us because it means we don't have to go through
Ready for
it.
duty.
The other way to get round it in this mission, of course, is to build the Steamrunner class starships, which have their artillery torpedoes.
Where are
But
we needed?
really, I think this method is just as experienced, and it doesn't require a hell of a lot of faffing around. Now, remember how brutal Nexus is, or Nexi, whatever you want to call them, were for Akira class and Defiant class ships. Watch what happens when a fleet of galaxies take them on. I'll let you enjoy that, guys, and thanks for watching this rather long video, and I will see you next time.
We will comply. Where are we needed? Ready for duty. We will comply. Where are we needed?
Adjust heading.
Order confirmed.
Armed and ready.
We will comply.
Enemy
Advanced scouts
engaged.
returning from a nearby system have reported sensing the same tachyon particles and transwarp signatures we found in the regular Badlands. It is highly likely that this Technology 2702 the Borg referred to is some sort of advanced transwarp gate, but with far greater range. Now that all Borg units in this sector have been destroyed, Starfleet can use this area as a staging ground for locating this transwarp portal and to investigate the threat it poses to the Alpha Quadrant.